Terraria is an old game, and I mean
Really old now.
to the point where some viewers are even younger than this game. Imagine that. Younger than a digital dataset. Age aside, it stood the test of time like many contemporary counterparts. Minecraft, Roblox, Counter-Strike, and the king of them all, Zuma Deluxe. But with nothing but time on their hands, even the most replayable games can become dull and jaded over time. What's the solution to this age-old issue? I mean, hell, the urgency of this problem supersedes global warming or the use of fossil fuels. And that is when Timothy Mod, father and founder of modifications, stepped forth and said, "Behold, the Calamity was one of the many mods birthed by Timothy Mod himself, with notable siblings such as Thorium, Ancients Awakened, and even the forbidden Terraria sex mod, which simply cannot be the reason why my channel is Terraria based. Calamity, like the name might suggest, is a total shit show. Calamity, like the name might suggest, is a complete fuckfest. Calamity, like the name might suggest, is a calamity. Arguably one of the biggest content mods, it introduces a slew of new bosses, a mode beyond hard mode, dubbed harder mode, new classes, and just all sorts of fun and exciting ways to torture yourself. Looking at you, Awful Time. Now, unlike Terraria and my foggy past, Calamity has lore. Yes, lore. Let me say it one more time. It has. So long story short, and like any good origin story, people get crucified. Calamitas wielded great power. Who knew, right? And her parents went all, "Oh, don't use it for evil." But by heavens, when Calamitas returned to her home after a rather rambunctious argument with a rivaling faction, there they were, boom, her family nailed to the cross like a specific teacher in the Middle East. Remember that whole, "Oh, don't use it for evil"? Yeah, fuck that. Oh, and by the way, I just found out that most of this isn't canon anymore, but goddammit, it's a good story and I don't want to have to rewrite the script. She almost killed the mob of people that went full Pontius Pilate on Calamitas' family. But no. She instead dropped them into a pit of eternal fire so that they and their dear loved ones could burn forever. You gotta hand it to Calamitas, she's considerate of their families too. So then she hears this voice, which is actually this prick named Yarim. Fun fact, that dip cuck is the reason why everything that happens. So she goes to Yarim, becomes even more adept with her magic, and surely there's no way a young impressionable girl with exorbitant amounts of power can get corrupted, right? And in a bid to seem even more analogous to my favorite piece of literature, tries to resurrect the dead, her brothers. And it worked, except it fucking didn't. They look malformed and is only half alive, and it's just nasty. Anyways, she sees what this goofy doopfuck Yarim does and decides, hey, that's pretty fucking evil. And, you know, that's true, because what he was doing at the time was, well, terrible by human standards. He was making the Geneva Convention sound like Geneva Suggestions. And so, Calamitas starts plotting to kill the guy. Poor Yarim. He's gonna get a Bible reference thrown at him. Anyways, now she's against him. And another thing. Calamitas, contrary to the name, is not Calamitas. Yeah, I know. So there is Calamitas. And there is Supreme Calamitas. Yeah, so she cloned herself. Well, actually, no, that's not true. Drayden cloned, but yeah. That clone becomes sentient and a perpetual seal on her powers, limiting her. So basically, the Calamitas that we fight in-game is essentially a glorified lock. I died many times to a fucking lock. So that wraps up the lore as well as I could. Remember, I just found out that all of this is wrong. What's next? Oh yeah, the game bosses. Calamitas is a post-hard mode for she will kill you. Several phases where her projectiles will just fire at you, and then comes her brothers, which, oh my god. Providence, she does drop bloodstone, so you've gone into harder mode and have relinquished most bosses of their privilege, especially the privilege of being alive. Now is your time to shine, as you now get to face Supreme Calamitas. And not a lock this time. Once you've gone to your local Walmart and picked up an altar of the accursed, and then on your way home, stop by a 7-Eleven and grab their Ashes of Calamity, or if you're feeling wealthy, a ceremonial urn, you can now summon Supreme Calamitas. So let's say on your way home, oh no, the altar of the accursed and the ashes collided, and now you have a Supreme Calamitas on the corner of two streets. Now, there are some certified ways to cheese this boss fight. Now, I do not know them. Contrary to popular belief, I do not have the answers to everything. So I went on to my YouTube community to ask you guys, and The Supreme Calamitas, or SCAL for short, starts off by giving you a physics problem. As in, calculate how to dodge the absolute shitstorm that's closing in, and closing in fast. If you solve it, you're rewarded with the only thing that gave me goosebumps when I first saw it. Sepulture. As well as 10 kidney stones. You kill him, thank god, and you kill the 10 kidney stones in order to properly damage Cal herself. And then it all unfolds like this. Once you get her to 75% health, she gives you another physics problem. Get her to 50% health, she will yet again give you another physics problem. Man, she loves those. Get her to 45% health, she will bring in her aforementioned malformed brothers to assist her. And they'll kind of just chill on the side and occasionally shoot at you. Pretty pacifist, actually. Get her to 40% health, though, she will jump into phase 2 and summon one red circle. Pretty pathetic, honestly. My uncle could summon 3. 30% health, she throws another physics problem. And I wish that was the end of it. Because, you see, after I insult her about her one red circle, she summons another red circle to kill me. Results may vary depending on the difficulty and the intensity of your insult. 20% health, she puts her allies in front of her to die. Albeit by my hands, but hey, it was her fault in the first place. 10% health, the 5th and final physics problem is sent forth. And at 8% health, she brings back Sepulture and the 10 kidney stones. At 1%, she gets some sense knocked into her once she realizes we're both trying to kill Yarim. She chills out and, well, she subsequently disappears actually, which is a shame. I wanted to shoot her with my handheld tank. That's terrible. And then, and only then, does she become our neighbor. Never had I been so impressed by one's sheer audacity. And yeah, in this present day and age, Cal is an HOA member and Yarim is still nowhere to be found. Unless maybe...